Okay, Guardians. Let's take a look. What we got? About 70 more activities to do. That'd be about 35 wins in Gambit or Crucible. I think in Trials is probably not going to be a good choice. Although I did look at it and it was like, maybe. But no, Crucible is going to be the way to go, namely because it is guaranteed to be less than 9 minutes or less. Um, that's just the way it is. There we go. Dance. No, not working. Okay, so probably Xbox or PC. Oh, it's PlayStation. He's in a fire team. Maybe that's why it doesn't work. Emotes that don't work. Spending hard money on cosmetic shit. Let's see, pulse rifle, fusion rifle, rocket launcher, fucking Banshee. Yeah, I know you're trying to fix rocket launchers, man, but you can't. You can't fix them. They're garbage. They will always be garbage. Pulse rifle. I don't have a primary pulse rifle. That's an auto rifle. Huh, okay. Well, let's see what he's got here. Anything worth buying? What do we got? We have an auto rifle. We need a kinetic pulse rifle. Here we go. Battle Scar. What the fuck? I'm going to call this a rental. Let's give it a try. Find out what's going on here. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? We got Flared Magwell for stability. I'm going to want that range. Ooh. I don't know. Handling? Got range. Yeah, I'll do that too. Head Seeker and Keep Away. Wow, that's not going to be me today. Anyway, let's go ahead and pound out these gunsmith bounties real fast. This is my favorite spot in the whole game to go do this now. It used to be the Orrery on Nessus, near Artifact's Edge, but I found this one to be far more efficient and a little bit more fun. Oh, man. So today being Monday, the day before 4th of July, I imagine there's going to be quite the number of explosive events around the house today. My neighbor has been blowing up shit all week long. Oh, is this a triple shot? No. Nice. Nice. I haven't really been impressed with fusion rifles of late. Um, Once upon a time, they weren't even really meta, but they were really good. Now it seems like everybody just goes Jotun. Let's go ahead and do some XP jumping. Skip a rope. Skip a rope. Not many people know that song. I used to hear it all day long when I worked for a dude who listened to country. In the country, spelled out without an O. Known your opinion is. Schmackers. Wow, just rip them apart. Poing. You got sprung. like I said, this place is a lot more fun. Artifact's Edge does have a public event, but I mean, it doesn't drop anything better than what I already have, going on. And Seeker. This might actually turn out to be my primary pulse rifle for a while. We'll give it a little ride. See, the thing about when I choose my guns is one, well, it's like everybody else. Time to kill uh, versus handling versus targeting, and all that damage it can possibly do. But I always rate it is when I take them to the lost sector areas like this, yeah, I rate them as how many times I get the final blow. Um, and I know that with the battler, it's almost consistent. If I lead up on a target, I'm going to finish that target. My peace bond, same thing. It's very consistent. Uh, Makes me very happy. I like to be a happy guardian. Um, but, if I have a weapon that doesn't consistently get the final blow, and again, this is all versus Crucible because, I mean, the whole game is nothing but PvP. It seriously is. Even the so-called co-op missions are PvP. Um, because, you're fighting for the leaderboard. You have to get the final blow in order to complete your bounties. You have to, do this, do that, and the other things. And it gets frustrating when you can't, when you put in 2/3 of the fucking kill and you don't get credit at the end, and then the game used to allow for assists, but then somehow or another they got pissed off, Bungie got pissed off that people were doing carries. So, you would find somebody on LFG and ask them if they could help you with a piece of content. There was certain verbiage you were to use, and next thing you know, they were carrying you. Now, I thought there used to be two skeletons over here. Like they died together. Interesting. Maybe that's further into the breach. So yeah, it's always good to have a little bit of a set your own little metrics up as to how you evaluate weaponry, and that's why everybody is always going on about, oh, your violence will marry, your violence, your violence will marry. No, your mileage will vary. That's what you call an eggcorn. EGGCORN. It's a word that's spoken that is based upon a perceived uh, word that you might have misheard. It's it's a linguistics thing. I study it a little bit, not as passionately or as in depth as say Tolkien did. Um, and lots of times people argue that Tolkien's, oh, I have that sparrow. That's the way it looks, huh? That's so cute. Looks like he's colored it to look like the Imperial Fist from Warhammer 40,000. Yeah, but a lot of people like to joke around about how Tolkien only wrote The Lord of the Rings because he wanted a place to actually showcase his linguistic skills because he's a little show off. So yeah, I think Battlescar might hold on for a little while. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I get consistent kills with this. I get consistent kills with this, this. This is why these things sit here. I almost have all my craftables are in my secondary and heavy slot or energy weapon. It's so stupid because like in collections, they call them uh, they call them primary, special, and heavy. Then there's kinetic, energy, and power, and it's like fucking pick a bucket. Pick a bucket and stick with that. Just whatever. Like a couple of nights ago, I'm sorting through my completed Gunpla, and I have a bunch of Hello Kitty super deformed Gunpla, and of course some Harrows. Sorry, talking with my breakfast mouth. Anyway, so there's this little Harrow that's decorated like a Hello Kitty. And I asked my wife, and I show her, I says, okay, I got a bucket here that is Hello Kitty, and I got a bucket here that is Haro. And I show her the pieces, and she kind of giggles a little bit, because she thinks that it's funny. And, actually, no, she thinks it's cute, that I still build model kits. And so she goes, I don't know, I think it's more Haro than Hello Kitty. I go, yeah, I think you're right. But that's, but that's what I'm talking about. This was a spork situation. Is it a spoon or is it a fork? Well, I mean, honestly, it's more spoon than it is fork. So put it in the spoons. And the Haro Kitty was more Haro than it was Hello Kitty, because it was just the decoration was Hello Kitty. If you took off the decorations, it'd still be a Haro. If you took off the Haro, then there'd be nothing there. There'd just be the colors of Hello Kitty, being red, white, and blue, and some yellow. She's like primaries. She's awesome. Good toy design. Really good toy design. Which is also why Gundam, when it was first released, it was released as a toy, and not even a model kit, but as a robot toy, and they wanted an animation for it, to basically a 20 to 30 minute cartoon that would be a commercial, like, G.I. Joe and Transformers were, and pretty much any other toy-based cartoon from the 80s to the 90s. And the only reason why Gundam got its red, blue, and yellow decoration was that originally it was supposed to be all white, like the unicorn, or white or gray, because it was a prototype, that kind of thing. And when you prototype something, you pick neutral colors to set it apart from whatever it might get painted up to look based upon its usage. Which is why the mass production Gundams are mobile suits for the Federation later on. There are these, like battleship grays and military beiges and stuff. But anyway, so toy design, so they looked at the toy design and they said, this is nice and everything, but it doesn't really catch it's not going to catch a kid's eye on the shelf, and that's why most children's toys are really brightly colored. And the so-called adult collectibles have more realistic hues and tones, because bright colors are supposed to appeal to children. But me, being the mutant fucker that I've always been, I was always drawn more to like things like olive drab and battleship gray and desert khaki. I liked the military colors, and this is probably in no part because my uncle and my dad were both in the military, and pretty much everybody in my extended family, meaning friends of family and cousins, have some kind of military background or affiliation. So, not surprising. But yeah, I like bright colors too. I do put bright colors in my paintings, but I use them as an access or focal point. It's like the surrounding environment will be realistic hues and shades and tones and stuff, and then I'll have like an element that is just like super hyper real, or like if I wanted to accentuate the fact that there's this daisy growing amongst the debris of a rusty battlefield, I will paint that daisy as brightly as I can, just to bring it up, just to bring it into focus more, and that's just good design. Like I don't know if you remember the scene in Schindler's List when he's looking out of the hotel window, and there's this young girl who's running through the streets in a bright red coat, and the rest of the scene is all gray and desaturated, except for that bright red coat, because that's what he sees. And the director wanted the audience to see the world through Schindler's eyes in that moment, to bring out the anxiety of the scene and the tragedy. But yay. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind all the bright, flashy shit that goes on in Destiny, but I don't get into all the sparkle pretties like this. After a while, it does get to form a bit of a headache for me. So that's why I like to go ahead and keep it simple. All right, now we're gonna go finish up with rocket launchers. I'm surprised that we haven't had a spider tank drop yet. Maybe we did. Level 7. You pay to win. And I'm not being facetious or anything. It's a statement of fact, because when you look at the collections, excuse me, the journey, I can only complete this if I sonar station reputation. I have to level up the helm. In order to do that, I have to be part of the season. So I did not buy the season. So yeah, you're still paying to win. And yeah, it is winning. I used to sprinkle quite a bit of salt and say something like, well, it's not really pay to win, it's more like pay to progress, you know. But that is what winning is. You know, progressing is winning. And when you have access to more resource, killed by the architects. And when you have more access to resources than everybody else, you are winning more than they are. And anybody who says differently is, like they said, you know, in the first stage, in denial. I really don't like one rocket, one kill. I'm just gonna not deal with it right now. I need that heavy ammo. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Oh my god. Yeah. This game must have been built by somebody who feels like if it doesn't get all over your face, it doesn't belong. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face, which is an old late 90s Carl's Jr.'s ad as an excuse to like sloppily train their employees to make sloppily made hamburgers. And I'm not that kind of person. Personally, if it can't stay in your plate, it doesn't belong in your face. That's the way I feel about it. Another thing too is that I'm presently on what I call the spoon diet. So it's like if you can't eat it with a spoon, you shouldn't probably be doing it. But that's wrong because there are some things you can eat with. You can only eat with. Well, you can eat anything with a spoon, really. I'm pretty sure I completed this. I just didn't notice it with all the fucking flash and glitz. Yeah, we're done. Okay, so now we're gonna go and now we're gonna go do some. I don't even want to say the word. Let's go do some Crucible. I don't think I want any bounties. Let's just do this. I'm gonna play some Team Scorch. So I found out you'll just have to do the activity. I think you have to have the weapon in your inventory, but you don't need it equipped. Wow, I'm being dominated by this slice of cheese. That's what breakfast is right now. It's American cheese, Ritz crackers, mayonnaise, and a black pepper. It's not terrible. It's not healthy. Oh, come on. Missed. Alright, that took too long. Let's see how much longer it takes with regular Crucible. Oh, God. I love being punished for my choices. You know, they when you turn off crossplay, and yes, you can, they say this will negatively impact your lobby times. I did the test, and out of 10 lobbies, only one of them actually took longer than a minute to fill. But it didn't really make much of a difference. The only reason why I do have it on right now is because I just don't want to argue anymore. Oh, no, wait. What time is it? No, it's 10:30. The neighborhood's waking up. Everyone's going to be spiking the internet now. Which means that I'll probably sign off. Anyway, that's about all I'm going to share for now, kids. How long was that? 22 minutes? That's a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. Anyway, thanks for watching.